possible. Twisting it up in the towel on his head, he stepped out of the shower and pulled down another for his body. As he was drying off, little pinpricks skittered up his spine, and he started moving faster. By the time those pinpricks made it all the way up to lift the hairs on the back of his neck, the quiet internal voice he dubbed his early warning system began a litany of orders he didn't dare ignore. Move, go, get out, run. He heard cursing and yelling on the other side of the bathroom door. The guy his Uncle Lorenzo called his capo yelled, "They found us, boss. Get the kid, we need to go." He yanked on his underwear, then tugged his shirt over his head, jerking it down hard over his chest as it stuck to his still damp skin. He finished getting dressed and began stuffing everything back in the bag. The pounding on the door made his heart lurch in his chest. He called out frantically, "I heard him! I'm coming!" Figuring it was a good idea to cover himself as much as possible, he snatched the baseball cap his uncle had asked him to wear and tucked his damp, messy bun under it. His heart rate spiked as he headed for the door, gut churning, breath hitching, and eyes stinging as he grew more panicked. Lorenzo flung the door open and practically threw another bag at him while pulling out a gun from the holster beneath his tailored suit. The bag hit his chest and he caught it before it fell as his uncle yelled, "Go! Get out of here!" Kyler glanced around him, eyes wide, fear making it hard to think. Go where? How? Lorenzo lifted his gun, and Kyler ducked in reflex, dropped the bags, and covered his head with his arms. He heard the bullets shatter the glass in the window behind him, and his uncle yelled, "There! Get to the Salt Lake City airport 24 hours from now. Wait at baggage claim. I'll find you." Gunshots rang out from the hallway outside of their room. His uncle held his gaze as he locked the bathroom door from the inside and then leaned in and gave Kyler a fierce hug. "Now, get out of here." Lorenzo's voice was deadly and calm as he pulled the door closed behind him, leaving Kyler alone in the bathroom, more scared than he'd ever been in his life. His breath sawing in and out of his lungs, he ran towards the narrow frosted glass window that ran the full length of the back wall of the bathroom, high above the toilet, and he pushed on the glass around the bullet holes. The glass didn't budge and was much thicker than he'd thought. He knew he'd never be able to get himself and the bags out of the small space, with huge, jagged pieces of glass sticking out from all angles. He needed something to help him, and turned. He was just shy of a panic attack, looking around frantically for any other options, unable to come up with anything that would be strong enough to break it, until he realized the shower curtain rod might do the trick. Ripping it off the wall, he was pounding on the glass with the metal rod mere seconds later, putting his unsubstantial weight behind it. The window finally cracked, and he aimed for the weakened spot the bullets had created, pounding repeatedly as the blood rushed in his ears. He could only hear his own harsh breathing and the sound of the rod finally shattering the rest of the window. He had no idea what was going on, or who was coming, or even if the stories his uncle told him were true, but it seemed too far-fetched not to be. Regardless, it wasn't the time to think about it. He had to move. He did his best to use the rod to break any remaining shards still holding on to the window's frame, and tossed one of his towels over the bottom of the frame as a last precaution. Shaking his head at the height and tight fit to come, he lifted the bags and was on top of the toilet seat a moment later. He heard more gunshots and nearly froze in panic. Was his uncle dead? Jesus, oh Jesus! His whole body shaking, he realized he only had seconds to get the hell out of there before he was caught. He threw the bags outside, stepped from the toilet seat onto the top of the toilet tank, and crawled through the tiny space, thanking his lucky stars he was so thin. As it was, he had to use the outside wall.